Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Curse of Oak Island team discovers evidence of a major British military operation in 1700s. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the guys have found compelling evidence of a major operation conducted by the British military which involved hauling a large amount of cargo over the island. Last week, we saw the Oak Island team concentrate their efforts on Lot 15, an area not far from the money pit location that seems to contain a strange stone-like structure. The guys think it's an old tar pine kiln that may have been used in the construction of the money pit. They also suspect the site contains a tunnel entrance. This week, the guys continued to investigate Lot 15 and the area between the kiln and the swamp. They were hoping to find a link between the two areas. And as so often happens, it's up to metal detectorist Gary Drayton and Jack Begley to find the most compelling evidence of that link. They found an old ox shoe. Nothing unusual about that, they found plenty of ox shoes before, but then they found another and another. Oxen were regularly used for farming purposes, but this area is not farmland. In fact, it's land that couldn't be farmed. Intriguingly, oxen were used in the past by various military organizations to shift large amounts of cargo. The ox shoes that Gary and Jack found were all in a line, and that line goes from the swamp to Lot 15. Gary started to wonder if they'd found a trail meant for transporting cargo leading from the swamp to Lot 15. As Jack pointed out, ox shoes are exciting when you find them in the proper context. Earlier in the episode, geologist Dr. Ian Spooner confirmed that he believes there was a deep water port at the edge of the swamp, and archaeologist David McGuinness also found more evidence of a possible tunnel entrance at Lot 15. Gary and Jack discover possible trail for moving cargo. This all leads Gary and Jack to wonder if they found an old trail that was used to transport treasure from ships at the swamp to be buried in the tunnel under Lot 15. As usual, the guys decided to consult an expert. Jack and Alex Lagina took the ox shoes to everyone's favorite blacksmith Carmen Legg. Carmen had great news. First up, he confirmed that the ox shoes predated the money pit. He said they're probably from about 1650 to 1750. As the ox shoes were all found in a line, Carmen suggested that indicates heavy industrial activity in the area. Interestingly, he also said the find comprised both winter and summer ox shoes, which points to the activity happening over several months or at least 2 seasons. The British are coming. Did Brit Army hide valuables on Oak Island? Carmen also pointed out that another object the guys found is a decorative ornament that would have been found on a military ox cart. And this is the big news. He confidently informed the guys that the ox shoes are from the British military. Therefore, the guys have uncovered evidence of a major British military expedition that involves hauling a large amount of cargo from the swamp, possibly a dock, to underground tunnels at Lot 15. Wow! As Gary later said to excited nodding from the rest of the team, old pieces of British iron, now all we gotta do is go find some old British silver. Rick Lagina said we've had Templars and pirates and Spanish galleons, and now we're gonna throw in the British military in as well. It's an island of what-ifs and possibilities. The air was thick with anticipation as the team assembled at the money pit on Oak Island. The early morning fog had lifted, revealing a clear, crisp day perfect for excavation. For years they had dug, probed, and theorized about the enigmatic treasures and secrets buried beneath the island's surface. Today felt different. Today they were on the cusp of uncovering something monumental. Rick and Marty Lagina, the indefatigable leaders of the Oak Island team, stood at the edge of the excavation site. Beside them, Craig Tester, the engineer with a knack for problem-solving, was going over the latest geophysical data. They had recently detected an anomaly deeper than any previous dig, an anomaly that seemed to align with the infamous flood tunnels designed to thwart treasure hunters. "All right, everyone," Rick called out, his voice echoing with a blend of excitement and resolve. "Today we're going deeper than we ever have before. Let's see what Oak Island has in store for us." The massive drilling rig roared to life, its mechanical arm descending into the earth with purpose. As the drill bit burrowed into the ground, the team watched with bated breath, their eyes glued to the screens displaying real-time data. Suddenly, the machine hit something solid. The vibrations coursed through the equipment, causing a collective gasp from the team. "Stop the drill," Marty shouted. The rig operator complied, and the team hurried to examine the core sample. As they extracted the cylindrical piece of earth, they noticed something extraordinary embedded within the layers of soil and rock. "It's a piece of wood," said Dr. Ian Spooner, the team's resident geologist, "and it looks like it's been worked by human hands." Excitement buzzed through the group. They had found wooden structures before, but this one seemed different. It was older, more weathered, and bore markings that hinted at craftsmanship far beyond the scope of simple settlers or pirates. Jack Begley, ever the adventurer, leaned in closer. "Look at these notches. They're uniform, almost like they were cut with precision tools." The team carefully documented their find and resumed drilling. They didn't have to wait long for their next discovery. Barely an hour later, the drill struck something metallic. The sound was unmistakable, and the team's excitement skyrocketed. When they extracted the next core sample, they found fragments of what appeared to be an iron chest. The chest was corroded, but its contents were tantalizingly close to the surface. As they gently pried it open, a cascade of coins and artifacts spilled out. Rick picked up one of the coins, wiping away the dirt to reveal an intricate design. "This is a British gold guinea from the 1700s, he said, his voice barely containing his awe. These coins were used extensively by the British military during that time. The implications were staggering. If the British military had been on Oak Island in the 1700s, it meant they had likely conducted a significant operation here, perhaps even involving the construction of the infamous money pit. As the team continued to sift through the chest's contents, they found more evidence supporting this theory: musket balls, uniform buttons, and a piece of a British redcoat. It was clear that a substantial British presence had once occupied the island, possibly even using it as a strategic base during a military campaign. Craig Tester, ever the skeptic, couldn't help but voice his thoughts. "This is incredible, but we need to understand why the British were here. What were they protecting or hiding?" Huddled around a makeshift table, laying out the artifacts in the hope that they might offer some clues. As they pieced together the fragments of history, a theory began to take shape. "We know that the British were heavily involved in the 7 Years' War during the mid-1700s, Marty said, referencing his notes. "It's possible that they used Oak Island as a covert base to store supplies or even treasure looted from French territories." Dr. Spooner nodded thoughtfully. "The presence of the money pit itself suggests a need for secrecy and security. They could have hidden something incredibly valuable here, something worth the effort of constructing such elaborate traps and tunnels." Theories and speculation flew around as the team worked tirelessly to catalog and analyze their findings. They knew that this discovery could rewrite the history of Oak Island and shed light on the true purpose of the money pit. If the British had indeed conducted a major military operation here, it could explain the island's many mysteries and traps designed to protect whatever was buried below. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the island, Rick and Marty stood side by side, gazing at the excavation site. They had come a long way since they first set foot on Oak Island, driven by a shared dream of solving its age-old riddle. Today's discoveries brought them closer to that goal, but they knew their journey was far from over. "We're onto something big, Marty," Rick said, a smile breaking across his face. "I can feel it. We're going to uncover the truth about Oak Island, one piece at a time." Marty nodded, his eyes gleaming with determination. "And we won't stop until we do." The team packed up their equipment, their spirits high with the promise of what tomorrow might bring. As they left the money pit behind, they knew that Oak Island still held many secrets, but they were more determined than ever to unearth them all.